Hi, I'm Sue. Today we're going to make some sticky chicken wraps. These are little rice spring roll wrappers, and it's nothing more than rice flour that they formed into this kind of tortilla shape. You wonder, how are you going to wrap this? It kind of breaks, you know, it's very stiff. This isn't something you could wrap. However, if you take it and you simply soak it in hot water for, maybe a minute to 3 minutes, what you end up with is this wonderful, pliable little piece of spring wrapper. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and show you how to cut up a red pepper. Basically, you lay it on its side and you're going to cut the top off first, kind of like the top off of a pumpkin. And you just discard this part. Now what you're left with are the seeds and all of the membranes inside. I call it the claw. I stick my hand right down inside here and we pull it all out all at once. That way you don't get a lot of mess inside. There's still going to be some membranes and some seeds, so you just go ahead and you take your hand and you pull out all those membranes, turn it over and tap out the rest of the seeds and you're good to go. Now what we're going to do is cut off the bottom. Normally this part of the pepper you would use, but because we're going to be putting them in the spring roll wrapper, I want it to be nice and flat and thin, so we're going to get rid of that. So you cut your pepper again like this, so you get one big wide pepper. And again, you want to get rid of these membranes, so you kind of run your knife along and get rid of any white part. So we're going to go ahead and chop up this red pepper as thin as you can get it. Now that we've got everything prepped, we're going to go ahead and take our chicken. And I like to buy that pre-cooked chicken. Every grocery store sells it, and it just saves you a step. And then we're going to take another one of my favorite secret ingredients. This is a sweet chili sauce. I use it all the time. I absolutely love this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and put that right into the chicken. And you just want to coat the chicken with it. You don't want it to be floating in it. Make sure you have all of your ingredients chopped and ready to go before you start assembling. When you take your spring roll wrapper out of the water, make sure that you lay some wet paper towel down on the surface. That'll prevent the spring roll wrapper from sticking. And when you lay your food down, you want to kind of have it closer to you. You don't want to have it right in the middle, because it's going to help you when you're starting to roll this together. And now we put a little bit of our red cabbage, a little red pepper, some cucumber, and make sure you get some nice green in there too, and a little shredded carrot. And that's really all you need. So now we start to wrap. We pick up one end of the spring roll wrapper and we put it over the food, kind of roll it once, and then you take the sides and you fold those over one at a time. It'll take a little bit of practice. It's kind of fun to work with in the beginning, but you want to make sure that you roll them nice and tight, or otherwise when somebody takes a bite out of it, it's just going to fall apart. Now we have a nice little spring roll wrapper, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to slice it on the bias, which means on the side. That way you get a lot more color. And remember, these are raw ingredients except for the chicken, and you want to make sure that you have a very sharp knife when you do that. The presentation is just beautiful because you have all of these wonderful colors. And we just go ahead and lay these out. And you might even want to take some of the chili sauce and put it in a bowl and use it as a dipping sauce. You always want to garnish your food. And again, this cilantro is wonderful, especially with Japanese Chinese cooking. You can just sprinkle it right over what you're doing. If you want to make these ahead, you can. You can actually store them in a Tupperware container and put a little bit of wet paper towel, like the one that you used, to wrap it in, over it, put it in your fridge. You can make it way ahead, up to 1 or 2 days ahead. And that is it. It makes a great appetizer. It could actually be a side dish. You could have it as an entree. Very, very healthy and delicious.